again here, athletes coaching here at Spartan Race here in Shanghai, and yeah, it's very lively. Got my race pack, looking at some of the course and stuff. As you can see, building the fire pit, and they also have the A-frame. The start is over there. So yeah, so hopefully as time gets, I have about an hour until I race, and so yeah, looks like it's a pretty good crowd. So with that, I'll check back in a little bit. Well, hey folks, I finished the race. It was great, first time, lots of life learning lessons, and I'll do a recap in a bit and let you know what I went through and all that stuff. So, but hey, I am now a finisher, and looking forward to figure out what's next. Okay, here's the race cap for the Spartan Super, which was a 10K course with 29 obstacles, unless you count the first one. Before you even got to start line, you had to like jump over a wall. So maybe if you count that as an obstacle, that'd be a total of 30. Nice open space. There was about 33 people in my age group that participated. And well, probably a little bit more, at least for the men. 33 men at least participated in our age group, and there were some other folks that were there for the first time, and when we set off, it was good. A couple things that I noticed that I was very strong at was the climbs. I had no problem going over the hurdles, no problem going climbing up the walls, or whether that was inverted or even going over the cargo nets, which is vertical, or apex, or I mean the A-frame, those things. The ones that I was the weakest at was actually the bars, or traversing across the bars, the monkey bars, the tumbler, the twister, those things. I had very difficulty, and I think one of those reasons I'll get to is just not being very familiar with that. The ones that I was kind of okay at was the, kind of traversing across like a couple of there's these walls, like a zigzag wall, and ones that you kind of have to kind of traverse over. There's no footholds basically, but so you have to use arm strength. The sandbag and the bucket carry didn't have much of a problem. In fact, I thought the weight was lighter than it was supposed to. I'm not complaining there. And so I didn't have any problem doing any of the crawls, or under the barbed wire, or jumping into muddy pits with water and climbing out, going underneath the wall. Those things I had no trouble with as well, so I did fairly okay with that. There was about 25 meter swim. Again, not a problem. But as I go back and kind of reflect, the ones I had, again, the most trouble was kind of going through the monkey bars, or swinging across those things. Decent, okay, I guess, at the rope climb. As well as the hoist. I was a little tired at it, the hoist, pulling up on a pulley bag. I don't know how much it weighed, but I was a little tired. It was toward the end, so I was a little tired with that. I definitely could not carry that Atlas ball. Again, it was toward the end, and I just didn't have strength. And one of the reasons why was what zapped my strength was those things that you, again, holding on and going across, or the monkey bars. I had decent amount of grip strength and static holding, that I know, and that's actually what killed me, was because as I was trying to navigate, I just wasn't confident or sure that I can just swing, and I should have just went all out and just kind of went one after another very quickly. Instead, I kind of took my time, which then built up a lot of lactic acid in my arms, and then it just gassed out. So some of them, one of them I believe I was able to complete, but I used up probably a lot of my strength on that, which then didn't allow me to recover as much as I wanted to. And so when I went through those other things and just kind of slowly there, and then I was just hanging, trying to figure out what to do next, and really at times trying to use kind of all out strength, brute strength, which is something you don't really need to do for this particular obstacle. And I just spent too much energy, which gassed out my arms, and then I ended up doing 30 burpees. And I probably failed, I would say, about at least 8 stations. So I ended up doing about 240 burpees. It was funny, I overshot the spear throw, so it just banged off on the top and came down, so I overthrew that. And so on that one, unfortunately, I had to do 30 burpees, which should have been one of the easier ones to do. But anyhow, overall I had fun. It was tiring, but I also, one of the things that I observed was there were some really ripped guys, big guys, and yes, they can crush some of the swinging and carrying obstacles, but they were dying on the run. And so that actually allowed me to be able to kind of pass them at the end. But again, my running was decently strong, but some of those other obstacles, I just wasn't able to cut it. So was I a little disappointed in that? Yes, but now I know, going in, if I did this again, I know what I need to work on, what I need to practice on. So overall, I'm quite pleased with that. And so yeah, I would just need to practice more on, getting the monkey bars, or uneven bars and things like that. They had this new one where you climb on a rope, and it was like a suspension bridge. So you'll have to, it's wobbly, and it goes up and then kind of goes down. So those were a lot of people weren't able to complete that, and end up doing burpees. And I think that was probably my first time doing the burpees. Just couldn't cut that. So those things, put those things in my mind. Those would be the things I just would need to work on. I would say if I didn't pause or try to, I think I overthought as I was trying to do that, which then sucked up a lot of my energy in my arms. And if I just kept swinging through, there were times when I was swinging through, I wasn't as tired, and maybe I was just overthinking, trying not to slip, but I should have been, sure of my grip strength. So the other thing that I noticed too, it was like the third to the last obstacle. It was this kind of like, I guess they call it this helix thing. My calves just cramped up, and I was almost toward the end. A lot of them I was toward the end, and my calf just cramped up, and I literally fell off of it. This one wasn't very high, and one of the, I guess, staff members had if people are watching, they probably thought like something was broken or dislocated, but they kind of had to push my foot back, so to alleviate the cramp. And finally, just maybe after 30 seconds, the calf became a little more relaxed. I was able to stand up, but there was no way I could have done that thing again. So I ended up doing 30 burpees, another 30 burpees, which was a bummer. So I have to figure out what was going on in terms of my why my calves were cramping up. It was extremely hot that day and humid. I'm glad it was a morning race as opposed to an afternoon. But actually, afterwards, talking with some other people, majority of people actually their calves were sore. So I might need to also do some maybe calf exercises or something, or just figure out what was going on, why my calves were cramping during that time. But again, overall, it was a great race. It was fun. It was fun doing with people. The people were nice. The competitors were nice, or at least most of them. And so now that I know what to expect and what I need to work on, would I do this again? And I would say yes. And I have a much better idea. I will probably have more confidence going in, knowing that if I worked on more of the bars, swinging bars, monkey bars, or the monkey swing and that, I think I would have no problem, and I'll be able to fly through the course much faster. So with that, that's just that quick recap summary of how it went. It's the next day. I'm a little sore, but not too bad. So a little sunburn, but it's great. One thing is, if you are considering doing something like this, and I would encourage you at least to try one time, just be prepared to get muddy and dirty. I mean, when I was doing the burpees, I was totally, the ground was all muddy. So, and again, if you are crawling, it rained the night before, so yeah, it was pretty it was pretty muddy, but it was great. It was fun. I had a blast. Yes, I think I'll do it again and just see if I can even do better. So with that, that's the summary of my race recap. Lots of lessons learned, as you probably heard in the beginning. Trying to compare it with the triathlons or other endurance races. And obviously this was tough because you're using your whole body this time, upper body, lower body, core, everything, and cardio. But yes, there's always something to work on. So I'm excited about that. And hopefully there's some things I have in my mind that I would like to do. So hopefully continue watching this, continue to subscribe to this and see what I'm going to be doing next. More product reviews or things like that in the future. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, my road to Spartan, and I will see you next time.